September 21st is a very important day with a big announcement. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, the 21st is rapidly approaching and we're going to be getting a very big announcement that is going to impact all of us on the 21st. Therefore, in this video, I want to talk about what this big announcement is, how it's going to impact us, and what we can anticipate to hear on the 21st. So let's get into it as we have a lot to talk about right here in the video. Let's get right into the details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to bringing you all the latest updates each and every day, breaking it all down into these short videos to keep you updated and to help you out in any way that I possibly can during this very busy time as things are changing very, very rapidly, especially when it comes down to money, benefits, new bills, pieces of legislation, reform, checks, programs, stimulus, raises to benefits, interest rates, inflation, and everything else going on right now during this very busy time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so I can keep you updated, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into it and discuss what is coming out on the 21st and why is it such a big announcement. All right, so here's what's going on right now. I think all of us completely recognize inflation has done absolutely nothing recently other than go straight up. I think all of us are feeling the pinch even more than we were over the last couple months here, but let's be real with ourselves. It's been bad for a very long time. However, we know that this inflation is continuously getting worse and worse, but here's what's going to be happening on the 21st of September. The Federal Reserve will be wrapping up their two-day FOMC meeting. Now, what does this mean and why do we care? Well, stick with me on this because this is exactly what we're going to talk about, and I want to break it down for you because it's going to be pretty important here, and this announcement is going to be very key going forward as far as what we're going to see with everything going on. So, here's what it comes down to. The FOMC and or the Federal Reserve, they meet every 6 weeks and they determine what they're going to be doing with interest rates. Well, they're going to be wrapping up their next meeting on Wednesday, the 21st. As a result of that, we're going to have the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, coming out and letting us know what they're going to do with interest rates. The anticipation as of now is that they're either going to pause, they're maybe going to raise rates by 25 basis points. These are some of the conservative estimates, or most aggressively, I've seen estimates coming in saying they may even raise rates once again 75 basis points or possibly even 100 basis points because this inflation is like unstoppable right now. It's like a runaway train, right? So this inflation needs to have something step in front of it and slow it down. At this point, even the Federal Reserve hasn't been able to do it, right? So it's been very interesting to watch this whole thing play out, considering their last few meetings here where they've been raising rates very aggressively, and it's done nothing, right? It's done absolutely nothing, just like I've talked about in all my previous videos. Well, let's be real, not all my videos, but I've talked about it many times here over the last few months. I've been saying the Federal Reserve is using the wrong tools for the job. They're using the wrong tools. Therefore, they're not going to achieve the objectives they want because they're using the wrong tools, right? So anyway, we can talk about all that in a separate video because that's its own topic in itself. But the fact of the matter is, the Federal Reserve will be coming out, and it's highly likely they're going to be raising interest rates once again pretty aggressively. Well, that's the consensus anyway. And then there are a few people that are saying, well, maybe they might pause and or they might lower a little bit. Again, we'll have to see what happens here. But here's what it all comes down to. Their mission on this is, and the whole objective here is to get ahead of this inflation and slow it down by raising interest rates and ultimately making it less appealing for us, the consumer, and or businesses to go out and borrow money, therefore putting all that money into the economy and ultimately driving prices higher. That's kind of the whole idea behind raising interest rates. It entices people to save money because when interest rates go up, guess what happens? Banks start to offer a little teeny tiny bit more interest. If you happen to have some kind of account that has interest rates tied to it, maybe like a money market, maybe like a savings account, or maybe some kind of checking account with interest attached to it or something like that. You probably noticed here over the last few months, you're maybe getting a teeny tiny bit more interest now. Well, it's because of that, right? It's because interest rates continue to move higher. So as a result of that, it makes it more appealing to save money, which is what they want us to do right now, because they don't want us to spend our money, because that's what's driving prices higher on everything, is too much spending. They also want to raise interest rates so that it's less appealing for people to go out and get loans and ultimately spend more money, right? As far as the consumer, businesses, virtually everybody. And they do that through raising interest rates. So, but again, I don't want to get into a whole explanation behind all this because I've talked about it in previous videos. And of course, I can always make another dedicated video talking about that as well. But this is what's going to be happening. Now, remember too as well, if you have any types of loans or any types of debt instruments that may have an adjustable interest rate attached to it. For example, maybe like credit cards, or maybe some type of personal loan that has an adjustable rate. Maybe a home equity line of credit, or maybe you're looking to refinance if you own a home or something like this. Rates are going to be significantly higher. If you're looking to lock in an auto loan, again, rates are going to be significantly higher. Student loans, virtually every type of debt instrument out there has interest tied to it. Well, it's either a fixed rate or it's an adjustable rate. At that point, anything that has an adjustable rate that is not fixed, like for example, credit cards, this is a classic example. These rates are not fixed at all. They continue to move higher as interest rates move higher. Well, that's going to impact all of us because here's number one, we're paying more every time we go to the store and we buy virtually anything, whether it's gas, groceries, clothing, literally everything. You name it, and it is higher priced today than it was 3 months ago. Everything is costing more these days. So, number one, we're paying more when we go to the stores and we buy the same products and whatever it is that we buy. At the same time, we have inflation that's driving prices up, and then ultimately we do have these interest rates that, once again, if we need to borrow some money, as in maybe we need to float a balance on a credit card for a few weeks until we can pay it down a little bit, or whatever it happens to be. If we need to float a balance on a credit card, then guess what? We get whacked once again with even higher interest rates. So it's kind of a little bit of a predicament that we're in right now, right? Well, it's not. Well, it is us too, but it's also the Federal Reserve, because they're not exactly doing what they should be doing, right? So anyway, the whole objective behind the Federal Reserve is to moderate interest rates and to maintain inflation. Their focus on inflation, by the way, is a range of about 2 to 2.5%. Sorry, they're a far cry from that right now, right? And that is their objective. They want to get to that. They're going to have to deploy some very dramatic measures in order to bring inflation down from where we're currently sitting now down to about 2 to 2.5%. It's going to be a long road here, and it might be a little bit ugly, and it's going to be painful getting there, right? So that's the whole idea with this manufactured recession that is going on. So anyway, this is what I wanted to point out for you. This is what will be going on. And of course, as I do get more details out of the Federal Reserve and this announcement from the chairman of the Federal Reserve and their decision from the FOMC meeting on this day, Wednesday, September 21st, of course, I'll continue to bring you that data and bring you all the announcements and let you know what they're doing with interest rates and how this is going to impact all of us going forward. This is some big stuff right now. So we got some major issues going on right now, and it seems like the people that are supposed to be fixing this stuff maybe don't have a clue what they're doing. Anyway, kind of interesting, but again, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details. This is the update that I have for you, and of course, I'll continue to keep you posted on everything else going on out there right now during this very busy month. And again, like I said, between now and the end of the year, it's going to be a very busy time. And even now, between now and the rest of the month, the end of the month is also going to be very busy as well with the end of the fiscal year as well. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Until next time, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.